Welcome to Yo-Yo Talk, and before we get started, I am going to start with my taste test because I am a little bit parched. As you know, I am waiting for a drink company to come in with some big bucks for me to reveal my favorite beverage, preferably during halftime at the Super Bowl, standing between two supermodels. So I'm going to do a taste test today on Pocari Sweat. Yes, that is the name of the drink. I don't know what a Pocari is. I don't know how it sweats or how they collect the sweat, but I am going to try this right now and see how this stacks up with my favorite beverage. Well, now I know if I ever lick a Pocari what it tastes like. So anyway, that did not stack up with mine. We have an amazing guest coming up on our show a little bit later. When I think of legendary female yo-yo players, Linda Singpail comes to mind, Val Oliver, and our guest tonight, who is a former national and world yo-yo champion, Jennifer Baybrook. We're going to catch up and see what Jennifer's been doing the last few years and talk about the good old days when she was the best AA player in the world. Okay, it looks like we're getting some folks signed in, so I'll go over a little recap of what happened last week in the lightning round. In the lightning round, Judith Schultz was the Simcoe and was Simcoed by the Simcoe, meaning Tim Simcoe did end up winning the lightning round, and that Disney yo-yo along with that autographed Dennis McBride yo-yo. And Dennis also threw in a nice little business card there that he had signed and a National Grandmaster's pin. So that was a little bonus that he wasn't expecting to have in there. The answer to the lightning round was 1994 for the release of that release date of the Franklin Mint reproduction Duncan Lightning yo-yo right there, which you see, very, very beautiful yo-yo and very collectible. Now, John Maishral ended up winning the grand prize for the pop quiz, correctly answering the questions, which were, the answers were 1976 for what year Flambeau stopped using the hot stamp process on the Imperial yo-yos, and HEP, H-E-P, was the brand of that yo-yo ball that was there. So congratulations to John Maishral, and your goodies are in the mail along with some ballots I found in the dumpster. Okay, it looks like we got some more folks signing in there. Let's go on and jump right in to see what's up for grabs in our prize package for tonight's pop quiz near the end of the show. Sean, go on and roll that prize package.
Okay, let's see what we're all playing for tonight in our pop quiz at the end of the show. This is our prize package. A lot of neat items to add to your collection. There is a complete set of Fiend Magazines. I think that is issue number 2 there on the top. I believe that is Sky. That was back when Andrew Arvidsson was the editor of Fiend Magazine, if y'all remember Andrew. There, of course, is a Lucky's Collector's Guide to 20th Century Yo-Yos and a Doc Lucky yo-yo. Off to the right there is a Zombie Cause Dictionary and a Headshot yo-yo. There are 5 different Zombie Cause yo-yos made. That is Headshot, Silent Blade, Zombie Boy, Doc Ruger, and Pappy 5X. Collect them all, but you'll probably only be able to get them on Yo-Yo Talk. Now there's something you don't see every day. It is a Koosh Pro-Yo Glow Yo-Yo. That's hard to say fast 3 times. That's from the mid-90s. I don't know what the deal was with Koosh and the Pro-Yo. There was some kind of marketing arrangements. Koosh balls, as you recall, is that little kind of, have a little ball in the middle and have all those filaments that stick out from it, make a ball. And they made a ton of money selling that product. And I guess they had some kind of agreement with Pro-Yo for a while. But these yo-yos, glow yo-yos, I think, are pretty rare. But these will run around $15 to $20 on eBay when you see them come up. Let's see what else we got. Oh, off to the right there, we've got a Fireball yo-yo. We had a Fireball Collector's Edition last week. Today we have the regular Fireball. That's still from the late 90s. That was the seal you commonly saw on those Fireballs. Right below it is a Spectra Star Donald Duck and a light up tucking yo-yo, which is kind of bizarre and weird. There's a couple other weird ones in there. I see a Sir Duncan spin top there off to the right. That was a nice one from the 60s. That'll run around 25, 30 bucks on eBay. Fiend Magazine yo-yo there. Some more stuff. Here's several other pro yo-yos. I'm not sure of the date on all those. Can't make out that red wooden yo-yo. That's a World King, it looks like. And here is another Spectra Star yo-yo. This is a hamburger yo-yo, and they've got a lot of different hamburger yo-yos out there, but I think if you're going to collect a hamburger yo-yo, the Spectra Star hamburger yo-yo is the one to have. It's a figural yo-yo from the late 80s, and these Spectra Star yo-yos will set you back about 15, 20 bucks, but not too bad. And off to the right, we've got a trick book from Duncan. That's an early 60s one, and right on top of it is a wooden Duncan yo-yo from the early 60s. Generic wooden top there. Again, there's that Sir Duncan spin top. That's kind of cool. That's from the 60s as well. So that looks like is our prize package for the week. Let's calculate the value of that prize package. Whoa, $195. Very good. For the winner of the pop quiz later in the show, so stay tuned.
Okay, that's some nice stuff to stay tuned in for. Sean, hey, what famous folks do we have signed in so far tonight?
So far, we got Dano the Mano joining
Dano the
us.
Mano, yeah, I guess
Tim
the Nickinator.
Simcoe himself,
All right.
ready to lose again. Who else?
I saw Bob Rule was in there, Michael Montgomery, Rick Renz, who's someone, Judith Schultz. So we got a bunch of folks. So and they're still tuning in. If you are a first-time viewer, make sure you let everybody know that you're watching for the first time so we can welcome you appropriately, which is more like a hazing. But yeah, please chime in. Last week we had a yo-yo submitted by Dick Storr, and it turns out that, can you show that one there, Sean? There it is. So we weren't sure what that was, but he used a bit of brasso on it, and it ended up being a spintastic ellipse without markings. See, there it cleaned up real nice. You can see that brass rim there, that weight rim. So anyway, don't know why it didn't have markings, but we found out what it was, and another major world crisis resolved on Yo-Yo Talk. So as you probably know, we have been working hard behind the scenes to get the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame back up and running. It's been a long time since we've had any inductees. Matter of fact, the first Twilight movie was just released the last time we had inductees, and that was in 2008. That's been 12 years. So we are now ready to go with nominations, I'm happy to say. So here's the fun part. Anybody can nominate whoever they want for the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. That doesn't mean they're going to get in, it just means they can be nominated. And we encourage you to spread the word and let folks know to put in those nominations, and it's easy to do. All that's required is you go to the link below, and this will be posted. Sean, do we have that up?
We'll be posting it here in a minute.
Okay, Sean's going to be posting it in a minute. So we'll get it up on the Yo-Yo Talk group page and all that kind of stuff. And if you're not a member of the Yo-Yo Talk group page, you should be. And you can sign up and get to the link there. But we will... Facebook. There's a bunch of different yo-yo sites for everybody to see, and you can also find this link on the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame Facebook page and the Academy of Yo-Yo Arts Facebook page, a group page. So that'll all be happening over the next 24 hours or so. So be looking for that. So the nominations will go through November and December, and we'll compile the nominations, and the top 3 in total numbers will automatically be in the 10 finalists that will be voted on. And the executive committee then of all the other nominations are going to select 10 more, so there'll be 10 finalists. And those finalists in January will be voted on by the Academy of Yo-Yo Arts members. And I've already discussed this many times before. If you are worthy, you should be a member of the Academy of Yo-Yo Arts. And that's somebody that's been involved in the sport or hobby for at least 5 years and has made some contribution to the sport, being a judge or running a contest or just doing something beyond just throwing a yo-yo or maybe entering a local contest. So anyway, you guys should know who you are, and the submission form is very easy to fill out. It'll take an average person 9 minutes to fill out the form and to submit it. So we've timed it. Now we know better. Now there's no better way to honor somebody that has influenced or been an influence on our sport than nominating them for the Hall of Fame. So it's perhaps the greatest honor that can be bestowed on the yo-yo community, by the yo-yo community on an individual. So each nominator, that's the person doing the nominating, will only be allowed to nominate one person. And that's the hard part, because I can rattle off about 30 names just off the top of my head right now of folks that I think should be in the Hall of Fame. So we want to get the whole community involved and get everybody out there nominating who they feel is most deserving. When you fill out the form, we'll ask the name of the nominator, that's you, and the person, and then we'll also ask you how long you've been involved in the sport. But even if you are a newbie, you'll still be allowed to put in a nomination. So let's have some fun and get the word out and get those nominations coming in. And we'll keep everybody apprised of what's going on Yo-Yo Talk as those nominations are coming in. Okay, enough about that. One quick little photo before we go to our lightning round and get to our special guest, Jennifer Baybrook. Here's an item I picked up a few weeks ago. What interests me is this is used clearly as like a Diablo, but it looks like it's from the 50s, and it's called a flip top. And as you can see, it doesn't have the sticks. So it's kind of like a transition between Diablos and 4A or off-string yo-yos. And many of you know I've always said I thought the yo-yo was evolved from the Diablo or the Diablo from the yo-yo. It's the chicken or egg thing which came first. But I thought it was a curious piece, and I doubt it will ever show up in one of our trivia contests, but you never know. And the Nickinator's probably taking notes right now, right as I speak. So anyway, okay, Sean, it's almost time for the lightning round. Why don't we take a look at what everybody is going to be playing for in the lightning round tonight? Keeping in track with it, our guest tonight is a former AA Looping World Yo-Yo Champion. We have a Spintastics Comet Glow Yo-Yo, which is a looper, and the best part is, you can see it's there signed by Dale Oliver himself. And in addition to that, the guys from the Duncan Yo-Yo Cart sweetened the pot by adding a couple of those reproduction Chevron Imperial Yo-Yos. And the original Chevron Imperials were probably the first yo-yo of any consequence to be plastic loopers. And then those Terminator stickers, if you noticed, are very rare because of that trademark dispute that Dale had, and you don't find those anywhere. So that's perfect for a collector. So there you have it. That's what you're playing for. Just a reminder, we stop the trivia questions coming in. Once we have an answer that is correct, that person is our tentative winner or our Simcoe. And we will check the time code at the end of the show and see if that person becomes the official winner. If they lose at the end of the show, it is being known as being Simcoed. So, Sean, let's go on and run that lightning round trivia question. Oh, according to Jennifer Baybrook, what yo-yo gave her her first boost in two-hand, that's AA, yo-yo play? And yes, Jennifer gave me that trivia question, so I don't think the Nickinator can look this one up, but that doesn't mean he won't get it based on past experience. So, according to Jennifer Baybrook, what yo-yo gave her first boost in a two-hand yo-yo play? So we're waiting for those answers to start rolling in. What kind of looping yo-yo do you think Jennifer started getting really interested in two-hand play with? So there's at least two people that know the answer. Jennifer, who's in our green room right now, and me, because she told me. And then Sean, because he's checking the answer. So I guess there's three of us. So anyway, should be simple. I want to say that there are some other fantastic, I'm thinking of one National Yo-Yo Hall of Famer that loves this particular yo-yo for his looping. I won't say his name because that might give away who the yo-yo. You don't have to say. What do we got coming in there, Sean?
We've got some answers. Looks like Nick is trying to bribe people.
Nick
That's
is
never
trying
good.
to bribe people.
Who
It's
knows?
not
I heard he
happening.
might have sent an email to Jennifer. We don't know yet. We're still confirming these things. But I
All
still
right.
don't see a correct answer, even with all
No
his
correct
tries.
answers yet. Oh my gosh, I thought this would be it. I mean, we're looking mainly, I'll give you a hint. We'll just go with the brand.
Well, that's all that you have written down anyway.
Well, that I know. But if you, I don't want to give too much away, but come on, guys. Think about, now remember, Jennifer was throwing back in the 90s, okay? So we didn't have all these loop 2020s and 720s and all that. They didn't exist.
You know, look, like I say to everyone on the show, every week, if someone comments it, please don't comment again. Obviously, they weren't right the first time.
Oh, so they're answering the same answer twice?
They did it every show, all of them.
So they think that answering more than the same, they think it's going to be better the second time they write it in, I guess. Okay.
Well, I can tell how many people have taken to Google right now because the comments have stopped coming in.
So they're Googling. I don't think Jennifer has this. I don't think that Jennifer's posted this anywhere. So you guys are just start thinking of yo-yo companies back in the 90s and start throwing out some names. I mean, at least randomly you should get this. Come on. I thought this was going to be an easy one. I thought this was going to be really easy here. But I guess
You know
not.
what's really funny is if someone just kept commenting while everyone else was Google searching it, they could run through all.
Yeah, you could run through just about every company out there by now, folks.
I think I'm gonna give it 30
I'll give you guys a hint. This company is world famous in producing yo-yos. World famous. I'll give you another hint since we're slow here. They produced 500 million yo-yos. Now that should be easy, even for the Nickinators probably getting it now. I hate giving this to the Nickinator, but it sounds like that's where we're going with this.
No, the Nickinator is so far off. He said Black Mamba. That's great.
Black Mamba.
So
No,
wrong.
no,
So
no.
wrong.
No. Come on, guys. Wow, I think this is
Oh, we got it.
We finally got one. Who is our tentative winner, our Simcoe for the evening?
I think you owe me $20 from before the show when I bet about Tim being it because Tim,
No way.
Yeah,
The
Simcoe of the
Simcoe
week.
is the Simcoe for the lightning round. Okay, well, usually what this means, folks, is that he's going to be bumped probably by the Nickinator by the end of the show when we look at the time code. But congratulations, Tim Simcoe. You are our tentative winner, and I hope your luck.
Give him the answer.
What?
Give him the answer.
It is Russell. She loved Russell. I should have brought her on and just had her say it. That way you believe me. So anyway, it is time for Jennifer to come on. She is a legendary yo-yo player. She won the 1997 National Championships for 2A. She won the 1998 World Championships for 2A. And that was not a women's division. This is a combined division. She was competing against all the guys and took them down. Jennifer, where's Jennifer? Bring her up there, Sean. Oh, there she is. All right, welcome,
Hey,
Jennifer.
guys. Thank you.
So anyway, welcome to Yo-Yo Talk, and confirm that it was the Russell yo-yo that you really kind of glommed onto to get you started with 2A.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was my question. It was my one of my favorite yo-yos. The very first yo-yo I started with for two-handed was the Tom Kuhn Mandelas, but it wasn't until I got introduced to the Russells where I really was able to pick up the two-handed. And go ahead.
And the person I was referring to, one of our Hall of Famers, was Dale Meyerberg. Dale, I think, still only throws with Russell yo-yos. He loves
was
Russell.
the influence
and he set
there.
several world records with him. So, did you ever attempt any world records? I don't remember seeing you doing
You know what? I don't think I ever did. No. I don't think so.
You should look through some of those looping records.
I should.
Yeah, it's nice having a world record also on your resume. So.
I might have to do one.
So anyway, you actually are still, and you took a little hiatus for a few years, but you're still involved with yo-yos. Tell us what has been going on the last year or so with yo-yos in your life.
Well, if you can't see my shirt, and if you haven't been following
we
me
love
or
plugs
Duncan.
here.
So I joined up with Duncan about a year ago, and we've been trying to launch a school component for the Duncan brand. So I'm very excited about it. As many people may know, I've done a lot of school programs over the years for the different companies and for myself, doing motivational assemblies and PE type of programs, as well as I did the Science of Spin for a while. When I was with Yomega, we did the Dream Dare Do program. So working with kids in the school setting was always kind of my passion. And I reached out to Duncan last year and asked them if they were doing anything along that line. So we joined up and have been busy trying to write the programs for them. We have a little of everything from motivational to science to history programs, counseling.
Right.
And I'm very excited to say that as of today, we just launched our new website for our school component, which is called Duncan Kids with a Z. So stop by, check out our website.
That posted and up for you guys. That's great.
Yeah, so it's duncankids.com.
Duncankids.com. Okay, well, we'll make sure we get that posted and up so people can go there. That's great. I mean, that's how we keep the movement going. Kids have to see somebody playing yo-yos and have to show them to get them interested in yo-yos. So I'm glad you're out there working with Duncan and spearheading, getting new folks involved. Now, you're also a kind of a health and life coach now. I assume that's kind of paying the bills right now?
Well, prior to COVID, during COVID's been, I'm very thankful that I was working with Duncan during COVID because, doing the marketing and that type, I do all the marketing work behind the programs and writing the programs. So that was really what took up or provided work for me this year during COVID. But the personal training and the fitness stuff, that's something I got into a few years ago. Thankfully, that's starting to pick up again. And I'm currently working on some advanced certifications in health and life coaching, which will, for me personally, it's given me the opportunity to blend my personal training and fitness skills with overall health and just what are people's motivating factors and changing habits and trying to bring more positivity into their life, which, again, with the yo-yo stuff, I spent a good portion of my life just working with kids and trying to bring positivity into their lives and teaching them, to overcome obstacles and whatnot. So it's kind of cool because in some ways I'm able to bring so many aspects or components of my life into one position or one job.
Yeah, that's great what you're doing. So now, earlier when we were talking before, you had talked about some memorable moments, and you had one particularly that came to mind, and it happened to be with one of our guests that will be coming on next week. And I have the Ricky and Ken Russell on as guests next week. And Ken and you did a fun little project together. I want you to tell me about that. We're going to roll some out. Unfortunately, I couldn't put the music up because I think it's copyrighted, but here's some of the video. Just tell us about what's going on there.
So when I first came to Miami, there was a Mountain Dew commercial that was looking for yo-yo players, and they had reached out to me, and they asked me basically to submit a tryout video or audition video because they wanted to have, I guess, some kind of like Western shootout with the yo-yo. So I was here and talking with Ken. So we wound up putting together this video and trying out together for this commercial. And we were like, okay, well, what do we do? And we just kind of put some stuff on. We're like, let's go out into the park. It's dark out there. And we just had his friends shoot some random video. And then Ken just kind of edited and put it all together. And it wound up being this really cool, almost like music video in a way. We unfortunately didn't get the commercial. They wound up going with local talent instead of flying people out. But it's just a fun video. I enjoy sharing.
Yeah, no, that is a really cool video, and it's a real shame they didn't use that because that would have been not only a phenomenal commercial, but it would have been fantastic for yo-yos. So.
Right, and are you showing the very end of it where Ken actually does a skyrocket with a yo-yo and catches it?
Catches it in his holster. Yeah, I think
that's an actual like gun holster, I believe, that he caught it in.
Yeah, that's great. I love the popping of the Mountain Dew cans off the bench there. That was here it comes.
It was fun, right?
Yeah, right there. Perfect. Yeah, that is cool. I gotta admit, that is a cool shot there. I don't know if Ken's watching this week, but we may show that little clip next week too. Oh, okay, great.
Is he there?
Yeah, that was a very, very cool clip.
I have to say that skyrocket he did that skyrocket on the very first try. We thought it was going to take like 10 tries, and it just hit on the first try.
That is great. Now, also, you had also talked about one of your favorite or feel-good experiences was back in the late 90s when you were with Team High Performance, THP, and you were one of the, I guess, probably the original crew there. Mm-hmm. And talk to me a little bit about what that was like, because you were at the top of your game then, and yo-yos were just, going off.
You asked me the other day when we briefly talked what was probably the best experience or the best memory that I had. And it definitely was my time with Team High Performance and traveling to all these countries. It was crazy. That was, we were at the peak of the boom when I won the world. So it just was an insane time for me. Being in Japan, the kids were crazy. I think a lot of people know this. Hopefully some of the ones that are on here, they actually had a chance to go to Japan and experience the craze, and we were like superstars with kids just mobbing us and thousands coming out. And I have so many stories to tell, two in particular. And I meant to grab this picture. I think I have it on my website somewhere. So one day we were in Japan and we're sitting backstage waiting to go on to perform. And, it's this kind of room off the side of the venue. And there's these glass doors, and a couple kids go by and they spot all of us sitting inside with our TLTHP shirts. Yeah. And they get so excited, they start like screaming to their buddies. And the next thing we know, all of a massive group of kids just came running. And this poor kid that spotted us was face planted against the window as they all pushed in. And I have the picture for this. We were all inside taking pictures of this poor kid just
you guys were like rock stars back then. I don't think people realize how crazy it was, like in Japan and places like that. It was just, it was amazing.
It was crazy. And it was such a fun time. Even looking back, it's so hard it's like, wow, did that really happen? Yeah. But so the other story I shared was the time we were in London. We did this big press conference, which It was a really creative press conference because they set up this event venue, which was like 2 stories, kind of a warehouse setting. And the journalists walked in. As they walked in, they were greeted by people, actors, that would size them up with like tape measures and appropriately measure or cut the string to their height and give them their yo-yo. But they made a big like show out of being sized up correctly for the yo-yo. And then as just before they go upstairs and as they're getting fitted for their yo-yo, they could see the locker room area, which is where I was, as well as a couple other yo-yo players. And we weren't back there doing yo-yo tricks. They actually had us like trying to do like finger stretching and like some arm stretches and things to warm up like athletes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so we put on this funny show. It was such a fun time. And then once the journalists were taking upstairs into the main area, they had like these cages where they had like yo-yo players and stages and things going on. And then they had the main stage. And the journalists are walking around, they're trying to learn how to yo-yo and seeing all these things that are going on. And periodically, this was one of the best parts, periodically all these sirens would suddenly go off. And a guy would rappel or drop down from the ceiling, like Mission Impossible style, take the yo-yo, the string that broke, or fix the yo-yo, and then go all the way back up into the ceiling. So it's like they weren't expecting it at all. It's just suddenly these sirens are going off, and then you see like music come on, and this guy drops from the ceiling. And then finally, towards the middle of the night, we went on for our actual performance on the main stage, and I had just won the Worlds, and so they made a big thing about that with the press, sure. Just really marketing, promoting that I had been the only girl, and I beat all the boys, and nice. So. During rehearsal, the DJ had our music, and we queued up our freestyle songs, and I'm pumped to go on stage. And they introduced me, and I run on stage, and the song that comes on is Macho Man. And, first of all, as a performer and as a competitor, we have set freestyles and routines that were very planned, are very planned. So they put this song on, and for a moment, I completely freeze, and I'm mortified that they're playing Macho Man. And the press, all the media and the audience, they just go crazy, and they start cheering and chanting and singing to the song. And I just kind of went with it.
And that is a great lesson for competitors, that sometimes when things just happen, you just go with it, and magical moments are made. So,
exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
That's a great story. Now you collect some yo-yos, and you actually have a couple signature models too. I mean, early back when you were the yo-yo princess, you had that hummingbird. I think it was a trickster that says princess on it. Can you? Yeah, there it is.
You guys
so there's that early Jennifer Baybrook yo-yo princess yo-yo, and I love those laminated tricksters of the multicolors. Those were pretty cool to collect. And there's the another hummingbird that's a spin away. That's also a signature model. And then I believe you also had signature models with the Yo-Yo Jam. You had the Relic, which is a nice looper. Matter of fact, I took that Relic as I was taking the picture here. John, you want to show the Relic? Yeah. There it is. So anyway, I gave it a few throws there, and actually, it was a pretty good throw. So I enjoyed pumping a few out there. And then you also had the Matador too, which is a responsive yo-yo, I believe. I didn't have a string on that, so I didn't throw that one. So what? Oh, okay. Didn't know that. So anyway, what in your collection is your favorite yo-yo?
That's a tough one. I definitely have yo-yos that I've collected from different places and everything, but I've been thinking about this for a couple of days. Which one is my favorite one? I honestly, the most unique, and probably I I guess I would call it my favorite one, is my first yo-yo that was carved. It's not just the first yo-yo.
Okay.
It was specifically carved by a Cheerio demonstrator who was
Really?
my first instructor, or yeah, when I was 6 years old.
What was, do you remember his name by
Yeah,
chance?
Phil Morin. Phil
Okay,
Morin.
great.
So he's the one that taught me in Vermont, or gave me my start. And his big thing was carving these like birds and ocean and
Right.
like sailboat scenes on the side of the yo-yos.
That's very cool.
And with the exception, I believe Dale Myberg did some carving as well
Yeah.
over the years. But other than those two, I've never met anyone that did carving on the yo-yos. And that was, I guess that was the thing back during the 50s and 60s when the Cheerio and Duncan demonstrators were out there. To my understanding, that's what they did on a regular basis.
Now, if you had to pick your favorite yo-yo you throw, what would you say? And I realize you work for Duncan now, so you can make a shameless plug if you want. But what would you say, you know, throughout time was your favorite two-handed looper?
You know, honestly, I have to go with 3 yo-yos.
Okay, fair enough.
So the first one, my favorite, was for a wood axle yo-yo, was the Russell. I absolutely
Okay.
still love the Russells. They're beautiful looping yo-yo, even though they're the wood axle. And the second was the Raiders. And believe it or not, when I first picked up the Raiders, I didn't want to use them at all.
Oh.
But you have to understand, I went from a very lightweight wooden axle looping yo-yo, the Russell,
Sure.
to a roller bearing, heavy weighted looping yo-yo, the Raider.
They hurt when they hit you.
And they hurt, and you know, maybe the guys didn't have this issue, but they were super heavy on my hands and just like killed my fingers. Like the string would just cut in a lot. So you know, that was another reason I didn't like them. But also, before we put all that gunk inside of it to slow the bearing down, they would spin too much. They weren't like as responsive as we needed them to be. So then with a lot of modding and fine tuning over the years, if you've used Raiders, you know about the modding and the
Sure.
you know, yeah. So you know, with time, I actually just kind of fell in love with them. And ironically, this is kind of a interesting, could have been an interesting trivia question. So everyone thinks the RB2 is my favorite yo-yo because I won the Worlds with it.
Right.
And that actually couldn't be farther from the truth. I actually hated the RB2s. I used them because I developed really bad tendonitis in my forearms a couple months prior to Worlds, to the point where I couldn't like yo-yo. If I tried to like open a bottle, my hand would just cramp up. And so I didn't have a whole lot of options. I needed to switch to a lighter yo-yo. And the RB2 is essentially the Raider, but without the caps.
Sure.
And so we were able to come up with some mods, the pogs that go on the sides, and that helps. But without the caps, the axle or the center actually sticks out a little bit too much. So it does cause the string to hit and the yo-yo flips a little bit. So you can't control it as much as a Raider. It's not as smooth and looping. So that, I guess that was a little bit of a long story, but Russell, Raider, and I've been using the Hornets with Duncan, and it's not even about a plug. I actually sincerely, these are beautiful looping yo-yos, in my opinion. I've enjoyed
Let me
using
interrupt you right there because we have one question before we
Sure.
get out of our little talk. I want to get them in. What was the question, Sean?
The question is from Chuck Short, and it says, Jennifer, are you proficient with unresponsive yo-yos?
Good question.
have I I'm getting there.
Okay. Fair enough. That's a fair enough answer, I think.
I am getting there.
Look, when you're at the top of your game and one genre of yo-yos, you don't have to do the other stuff. Hey, Jen, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. Those were some great stories, and I know you are an inspiration for any young girls matter of fact, any young guys too that are thinking about throwing a yo-yo. So I'm just happy to see you're still involved with the yo-yo community. So thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. Okay, guys, it's about time for our pop quiz. You've already seen what the grand prize is. Just a reminder, you must answer both questions in a single comment section. The first person to answer both questions correctly is our tentative winner and our Simcoe. And we will then check the time code at the end of the show to see if you have become our official winner. So, Sean, let's go on and run that pop quiz.
Doc Lucky's Pop Quiz. One shot, one champion. First to answer both questions in the Facebook comments wins. Get ready.
All right, what year were the Zombie Cause yo-yos released, and who did the yo-yo tricks for Owen Wilson in the movie Zoolander? All right, those sound like questions that the Nickinator would love. What year were the Zombie Cause yo-yos released? And there you can see a few of them. There's Silent Blade and Zombie Boy, Doc Ruger, Pappy 5X, and Headshot there. So what year were those released? And who did the yo-yo tricks for Owen Wilson in the movie Zoolander? I know you all think that Owen Wilson must have done them himself. But no, they were done by a very famous yo-yo personality we all know and love. You just have to know his name to win that grand prize. And give me a date. So we should be having some answers coming in right now.
Some answers coming
we
in.
got answers coming in, but not right yet.
They're doing the same thing as I said in the lightning round.
What are they doing? What are they doing, Sean?
They just keep guessing the same thing as
they keep guessing the same thing that other people have guessed.
Tisk tisk.
But that's probably not going to work as a strategy.
Everybody gets the shame bell.
So do we have anybody that has a partial correct question? That's what I want to know.
Oh, they're all getting a partial.
Oh, they're getting partials now. They are getting partials. I'm not seeing them come in, so I'm having to go with Sean here on what's going on.
Oh, that's because they're not coming in.
So let's see. I'll take a peek here and see.
Maybe you should give them a hint about that zombie cause.
Are we getting kind of right on the stand-in, the stunt and double for the Zoolander?
No, I think
we're not even getting that.
No, we're getting that.
Okay, so we're struggling on the date there. We're struggling on the date. So throw out some of the dates that we've been throwing out there.
Someone had the audacity to say 1992. I think that was before your kids were even born.
Come
right?
on. Look. Let me put it this way. Zombie Boy is a sophomore in college now. So look at him and subtract some time from that and think, I wonder, when might those yo-yos have been made? When Zombie Boy was still Zombie a boy. Because Zombie Boy is now Zombie the tank.
I just got to refresh the page to make sure that I'm not seeing nothing here, because I just don't believe
Sean
this for a second.
Sean is refreshing the page. We may end up having a Simcoe here if Sean hasn't been looking at this right, where somebody's already answered and we didn't know it. What do you think, Sean? Anything coming through yet?
I'm pulling it back up.
Although that does make sense, answering other questions that have already been, well, no, not if they've already seen it come up, I guess. So do I need to give another hint on that zombie cause, you think? Are we just not getting it?
Hold
on. I will tell you, it happened after the last induction of people.
I'm going to say this, Lucky.
Yeah, what's
I'm
that?
going to say this. I don't have a Simcoe for you because I believe the page I'm looking at froze. And I can't go far enough up.
Okay.
So we will leave the Simcoe this week as a mystery.
Okay, so we're assuming that somebody has answered the question.
I have seen a few answers. I just don't know who the first one was.
Okay, so we have correct. Okay, so here we have a problem. We have a technical problem. This sounds like the election going on right now. Our screen froze, so we don't know who won. We don't have a Simcoe, but we know we have a winner. We're not sure who it is. We'll have to let you know at the end of the show, but I will tell you the answers to the question so you know if you happen to be one of the ones that answered correctly. It was 2012 was when the Zombie Cause yo-yos were released, and of course, the stand-in double was none other than the amazing Steve Brown. He did all of the yo-yo tricks for Owen Wilson in Zoolander.
Now, Lucky, I will say we will definitely be faster than Nevada and Pennsylvania on finding the actual winner.
I am sure we will be. Okay, congratulations to whoever ends up being the winner. It won't be a Simcoe this night because we don't know who the Simcoe is. So it'll just be the official winner at the end of the show. Just a reminder, if you turned in late, you need to readjust your priorities and have Yo-Yo Talk as being your number one thing in life. Also, we will let you know that you need to remember to turn in your nominations for the National Yo-Yoing Hall of Fame. The link should be in our Yo-Yo Talk group page now, and we will be posting on other Facebook pages as well throughout the week. And don't forget to sign up for the Academy of Yo-Yo Arts. As I have mentioned, this is going to be our voting pool once we get on all the nominations. And as a reminder, anybody can nominate anyone. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. That is doc_luckies_yo-yo_talk. We post a very cool yo-yo every day. Some people need Valium, some people need Prozac, other people just need the Yo-Yo Talk Instagram photo of the day. And there are a few that may need all three to get through the waking hours. So, were you getting ready to say something there, Sean?
Don't forget, we do also have hints towards our pop quiz questions on our Instagram.
Sometimes.
You never know, though.
And
you gotta
finally,
look to know.
I want to tell you, you all remember the legendary Jack Russell, who's a National Yo-Yoing Hall of Famer. Well, he spawned two fantastic yo-yo players who have traveled around the world, Ricky and Ken Russell, and they will be our guests next week on Yo-Yo Talk. So we will catch up with the Russell boys and find out what they've been up to and talk a little bit about the good old days. That's a 2-for-1 special, and you don't want to miss that. And finally, I try not to get very political on this show, but I do feel obligated to say this in closing. You can never have too many yo-yos. This is Doc Lucky signing off till next week. You have a good one.